Please welcome Chairperson of the State Agency for Tourism Development of Ukraine, Mariana Oleskiv.
Good morning. It is my big honor to be speaking to you on the stage today and representing my country, Ukraine. When I took the role of the chairperson of the State Agency for Tourism Development of Ukraine, I didn't think that just in a week I will have to deal with the pandemic and then later with the war. And my plan was actually to show the beauty of Ukraine to the world, and as tourism was one of the priority industries for the government. But unfortunately, most of you found out about Ukraine on February 24th from this news about this aggressive Russian invasion of my country. At the same time, during these 2 weeks, you see that Russian army has no motivation to fight, and even this mobilization announced by Putin today would not help, while Ukrainians are showing courage and in fighting for freedom of the whole world. And yeah, thank you. And we do fight for the future. That's why today I want to concentrate more on what will we do actually in the future. Just briefly, I will tell you about where we were before this full-scale invasion. So Ukraine is in the center of Europe, and we were using our geographical position to attract tourists from both Europe, America, and Middle East with developing our tourism products. And the agency was actually created end of 2019 to implement state policy of tourism development, which was one of the priorities of our government. We worked again with the pandemic. We concentrated on domestic market, and we had like the best year ever for domestic tourism in 2020 and 2021. And then we started opening new markets, providing visa-free regime for the Gulf countries, the new market of the area, people coming from that area really helped our tourism industry to start recovering. Ukraine was interesting both for leisure and business trips, and also for health and wellness, because we have a lot of health resorts for different treatment. And then also, of course, one of our priorities were infrastructure. And during 2020, 2021, we constructed 30% more roads than we did before, like 10 years before. And there were like big plans for new airports, starting new airlines, new flights, and really this year was supposed to be something really good for us. But February 24th changed everything, and actually at the moment we see the horrible crimes and we see the huge damage to our infrastructure. So the government and the private sector would need to invest more than $20 billion for the post-war reconstruction. And that's what we work now with the partners on the political level and on the business level. And, but sanctions work, and we are really grateful for those of you who suspended all the business dealings with Russia and is standing with Ukraine. And I think that for those who is not on the list and still works with the aggressor country, just look at the brave Ukrainian people, fighting and giving everything to fight for the future of the world and against the common enemy. So stand by our side and be on that list too. I think it's like the easier thing to do at the moment. But as I said, we are it's important for us while we fight also to think about the future and about the recovery, because Ukraine, it's beautiful, and we live there. We learned to live during the war, and domestic tourism is slowly recovering, reaching up to 50% of pre-invasion, full-scale invasion numbers. We think now about new routes. We want to open Ukraine also as a destination to tell more about our history, to tell more about the war, and to tell about our bravery. And these routes of memory, the commemoration of the war is a very important part of our job now. Also, the recreation and rehabilitation for Ukrainians who suffered during this war is something that the tourism industry can do now, also a little bit changing the priorities, especially those who worked with the health, resort, and recreation. And also we want, and we are planning now to create an Institute of Hospitality that would help to save people's jobs in the future, to bring back Ukrainians who had to temporarily leave the country and to find jobs abroad, and to work with them too, and to improve service and to improve the industry in general. And of course, the Visit Ukraine in future, because we are looking now for the right answers. Why would you want to go to Ukraine after the war is over? But one of our main goals was stated by the president is actually returning Crimea. That was the war for us in Ukraine actually started not February 24th, but in 2014 with the annexion of Peninsula. So we know that the final goal is to bring it back. And at this moment, as I told, we are fighting for the future. We want to concentrate on the plan, like making plan how this peninsula will be recovering. So it was really one of my most favorite tourism destinations for Ukrainians. There were a lot of people staying long term. It was a nice ski resort with a lot of medical spa resorts with the beaches, beautiful sea, culture, nature. But during the last 8 years, Russia turned it to the like isolated from the world place, and the destroying nature, destroying culture, destroying many, many beautiful sites. And we need to bring life back there. So we see the recovery plan, and we create it. It's still, developing all the time with the precise planning. But we want it to be open to the civilized world. We want to all go there and enjoy the beauty of the island, the peninsula, and the sea and culture. So these are, should become a year-round destination because it's not hot, there's no crowds, it's reasonable prices. And we also we know that it's important to have right investment opportunities, and the special tourism zone will be created there to attract more investments, to bring the world chain hotels to be opened there, to reduce VAT and other interesting for investors opportunities. So the brand should be, we also think about branding. It's about, as I said, year-round destination where you can have all kind of routes, and a lot of attention we will pay to Tatar culture, because this is actually the inhabitants of the island that were unfortunately had a lot of repression during Soviet time, and also now during the Russia occupation of the peninsula. So the resorts, this planning we're doing right now. And very important role is to key infrastructure projects. It's both the road connection, we are planning now with the south of Ukraine, and also the railway connection which is about to be connecting with with the biggest Ukrainian cities, and in the center, south, and east. Also, the marine passenger transportation, the cruises, was something we had plans just before the annexion to be opened in the peninsula, and we want to connect Crimea with other sea resorts where you can travel between them. Air traffic, that is very important, and for me, it took me 3 days to get here, because there is no air connection in Ukraine. You have to travel by train, then change planes, and then waking up in the middle of the night because it's morning in Ukraine. So that's when you start, evaluating those really simple things we all have, and we sometimes think we take it as granted. So the air connection would be important, and also the actually air connection between Ukrainian cities, because we are one of the largest countries in Europe, and between the cities, the distance is pretty long, so to connect them all is also very important. And what is important that we know that there is this attention, and we are very grateful for all of you, for being with Ukraine, for standing with us, and, helping on each level. The hospitality industry really did a lot while hosting refugees, by helping, giving free airline tickets, with the helping of the logistics, giving jobs to Ukrainians who had to leave our country. And this is really a big support we've heard, we had from you, and the calls I received personally from all our partners around the world on the invasion day with the willing to help. That's something that we will always appreciate. And so our next step will be invite all of you after we win to Ukraine to see the beauty of the country, and to invite you to help us to rebuild Ukraine as a tourism destination. Because Russia is fighting for the past, and Ukraine is fighting for the future. And the future will win. And I hope that you will be with us building the future of Ukrainian tourism. So that's actually my main message for you. And I will leave you with my contacts. I'll be happy to, if you reach out, if you have any ideas about how you can help us and we can be, benefiting from rebuilding Ukrainian tourism. And with this very short video, maybe to feel a little bit how it was, how it is, and how it will be after we win. Thank you so much. The video?
No, we're going to play the video, but they're standing. You want to go back out?
Oh. Thank you. Thank you so much.
February 24th, 2022, the Russian Federation invaded Ukraine. Over the past few months, approximately 4,000 missiles have been fired at Ukrainian cities. We were attacked not by invaders, but by terrorists. They turn life into endless ruins. They turn beauty into a war. A huge amount of tourist and recreational infrastructure has been occupied or destroyed by the terrorist state of Russia. Today, Ukraine is fighting for the entire democratic world, and we need your support. After our victory, we will rebuild everything which was destroyed very quickly and to a high standard. Ukraine will recover and become an important new tourist market with new opportunities for investments, for travel, and for unique experiences and emotions. The heart of Ukraine will never stop beating.